things and have a first-hand experience.
You need a comfortable journey so that when you get off your bus, then you need to have a happy day, not a grumpy, boring day.
Once you go on the trip, it is also better to go with your family, because then you can tell them stuff about what happened and how it feels when you actually go through that situation. When you go on a trip, your brain is at ease. It does not feel like you are learning in school. Even though you are learning, you are having so much fun that you will not realize that you are learning. When you go out and you see members of the public, it helps you to talk with people of the public and respect people more.
It also helps you to bond with other people in your class you haven't talked to, or people in other classes in your year group.
If you go somewhere, you will remember it more, but if you just watch something, you can forget it really easily.
When you go on a trip, you can show your values, and it helps you to understand your values and how to speak to people. If you meet your friend, you'll speak to them in a different way, in a different tone as well. So you can show respect and friendship. You can make friends.
You can also learn values from other people who are going on the trip, and then display those values on other trips.
Okay, so the biggest thing for me is making sure that our children have positive learning experiences, but at the same time I have a responsibility to also measure the impact of that learning and make sure that all bases are covered in terms of risk assessments. I know this is a huge job for teachers, but absolutely worthwhile when learning does come to life and the children can bring their experiences back into school. We've also got to consider, when we're planning for a trip, the cost implications, and I know that sometimes parents do struggle to cover that cost, as well as schools, so making sure that every element is absolutely right. So the best way for colleagues to get in touch with schools and find a way in would be to have a basic understanding of the curriculum and the expectations, more the topic side of life, history, geography. So have that understanding and then make it very clear to schools what the offer could be. Even though it's quite blue sky at times, it's important to say we could offer A, B, C or D, because then teachers, leaders can then fit that into their planning. Would you agree?
I think almost as well, when contact is made through email or through sending information to the school office, things like saying what age groups it's particularly appropriate for, and what the package offers, and like you said, how it links into the curriculum, maybe objectives that it links to, because as a teacher you're thinking, wonderful, it's there for me.
The most powerful way in to me would be to host network meetings. I think the difficulty that you'll have is to get people to those network meetings, because time is obviously precious, but that would be in the package and the offer, and I think once people start and begin to network through meetings, that's your way in.
I think trips are especially good for many, many reasons, but mainly because I think they give children the first-hand experiences that they need and they maybe don't get in the rest of their lives, but also it then impacts on the learning in the classroom afterwards, their writing, they can bring their experiences, how they felt into it. So yeah, it's not just the trip and then they've learnt, it carries on after that.
I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with them. In terms of barriers of school trips, it tends to be the organisational side of things that can be a little bit tricky. There's a lot of bureaucracy when it comes to trips, understandably so, because we need to make sure our children are safe. So barriers would be things like just arranging all the health and safety forms, and just all the forms in fact you need to complete, and actually some of the easiest to arrange trips I've ever been on have been where a lot of that is already done for you. So the venue will provide health and safety forms, parental consent forms and things like that. In terms of other barriers, cost can sometimes be an issue, especially with schools at the moment. We are limited in terms of our budgets, so when we're looking at arranging trips, sometimes sadly we do have to consider price, as well as the educational benefit for children. Benefits for trips, there are a whole bunch, and it doesn't have to just be academic. We run a lot of school trips which are just getting the kids working together, so teamwork and things like that. And not only are they great fun and they sort of help children invest in their education, but actually they get children to make new friends, and teachers get to see kind of a different side of kids.
Safety first. How many staff to how many kids? Fun. So kids know that they're going there, they're going to have a good time. Learning, important. So they know about trains. Yeah. Because in life, you don't know if you're going to have a car, not have a car. To know transport is very important. Universities they're going to go to, you need to know all this. So very important. Very important. It's very hard at the moment.
It is, and especially if it's a school trip, we want to be able to send our children if they want to go. We want to be able to afford it as well, ourselves as parents.
And then there's lunch as well.
Yeah.
So it all adds up.
They need to be excited about what they've learned. Yeah. Because if they go there and just learn, and then they come home.
It's got to be fun.
Yeah, it's got to be fun in the learning aspect, yeah. Supervision, like sometimes I'm always worried in case there's not enough teachers to go with the kids. I think it's important that we need to know who they're going with. Maybe if there's like a bit of like an introduction. Yeah. And put your mind at ease. Just even like a few words, like I'm so and so, and I'll
introduce
be
yourself so we know how many staff there is and who it is. Yeah. So we know who's taking our children.
Yeah.
Taking interest in the child feels better in himself. They feel like, somebody wants to know me. Yeah. It picks his self-esteem from there to right up there. Yeah. That smile just says it all. It's enough.